In the infinite expanse of the cosmos, where stars are born and die in the span of millennia, there was always the persistent hope that the universe was more than an endless void. For centuries, humanity had sent its eyes and ears into the heavens, radio telescopes, orbital observatories, and deep space probes, seeking even the faintest whisper of something greater. And then, on a quiet day in 2187, the cosmos answered. It began as a signal unlike anything ever detected. At first, it appeared to be a random burst of radio waves emanating from a dense region of space near the galactic core. But as the days turned into weeks, a pattern emerged. The signal wasn't just noise, it was structured, rhythmic. It repeated with slight variations, as though it were a language or code. Dr. Ilana Voss, the lead astrophysicist at the Zenith Array, was the first to recognize its significance. The Zenith Array, a sprawling network of interconnected telescopes stationed across the moons of Jupiter, had been humanity's premier deep space listening post for nearly a century. Voss had dedicated her life to the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, and now, at the age of 49, her perseverance was paying off. "This isn't a pulsar," she explained to her team, her eyes alight with excitement. "And it's not a quasar, a black hole echo, or any other known cosmic phenomenon. The signal has structure. It's not natural. Someone or something is transmitting this." The room fell silent as the weight of her words sank in. The technicians and researchers exchanged glances, their faces a mixture of awe and trepidation. For decades, humanity had dreamed of this moment. Contact. Proof that we were not alone. The next step was deciphering the signal. Teams of linguists, mathematicians, and cryptologists were brought in to analyze the patterns. The signal was continuous, never wavering, as though whoever sent it was determined to be heard. But it wasn't just a single signal. It contained layers, subharmonics, and overtones that carried distinct data streams. The deeper the researchers probed, the more they found. "It's like peeling an onion," said Dr. Ravi Singh, a renowned mathematician who had joined the effort. "Every layer reveals more complexity. This isn't just a message, it's a library of information." As months turned into years, the signal's mysteries began to unfold. The researchers identified mathematical constants embedded in the transmission: pi, the Fibonacci sequence, and the golden ratio. These served as a universal foundation, a means of establishing common ground. Then came visual patterns encoded as waveforms, which were eventually rendered into intricate, fractal-like images. Some resembled star maps, others seemed to depict strange, otherworldly structures. The breakthrough came when Dr. Voss and her team discovered a series of repeating symbols that corresponded to universal physical constants: Planck's constant, the speed of light, the gravitational constant. This was a Rosetta Stone of sorts, allowing them to build a rudimentary understanding of the signal's language. Slowly, they began to extract meaning. "Look at this," Voss said during one late-night session. She projected an image onto the screen in the conference room, a sequence of glyphs that had been decoded from the signal's primary layer. "This is a mathematical proof. It's a fundamental theorem that confirms our own understanding of quantum mechanics. Whoever sent this is trying to show us that they understand the same laws of physics we do." "But why?" asked Dr. Singh. "Why would they send us something we already know?" "Maybe it's their way of saying, "We see the universe as you do," Voss replied. "It's a handshake, a way of establishing common ground before moving on to something more complex." And move on they did. As their understanding of the signal structure grew, so too did their ability to extract deeper layers of information. They found schematics for what appeared to be advanced technology, energy systems that made fusion reactors look like primitive campfires, propulsion methods that suggested faster-than-light travel. The implications were staggering. This wasn't just contact. It was a treasure trove of knowledge that could propel humanity centuries into the future. But with each new discovery, the mystery deepened. Who was sending this information and why? The signal was still coming from the same point in the galactic core, a region known to harbor dense star clusters and massive black holes. Yet no observable object in that area could account for the transmission. It was as though the signal originated from a void, an emptiness in space where no stars, planets, or known structures existed. The media caught wind of the discovery, and soon the entire world was watching. News outlets dubbed it the Omega Singularity, a reference to the unknown source's location and the seemingly infinite knowledge contained within the signal. Public opinion ranged from ecstatic hope to existential dread. Some hailed it as the dawn of a new age, while others feared it was a trap, a Trojan horse designed to lure humanity into complacency before some unseen calamity struck. Back at the Zenith Array, Voss and her team worked tirelessly. The pressure was immense, with governments and private corporations clamoring for access to the decoded data. Yet Voss remained steadfast in her belief that the signal was a gift, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to leapfrog centuries of technological and scientific advancement. But as they delved further into the signal's layers, they began to encounter something unexpected. Beneath the technological schematics and mathematical proofs lay a different kind of message, one that was less about knowledge and more about warning. "This can't be right," said Sienna, one of the younger analysts, as she stared at her console. "Look at this sequence. It's repeating, but it's not data. It's more like an alarm." "What kind of alarm?" Voss asked, peering over Sienna's shoulder. "I don't know," Sienna admitted. "But the tone changes. It starts out steady, then gradually increases in frequency and intensity. It's almost like it's counting down." Voss frowned. Counting down to what? The team worked through the night, attempting to decipher the new layer of the signal. As they pieced it together, a troubling picture emerged. The signal contained references to astronomical events, supernovae, gamma-ray bursts, black hole mergers. These weren't random occurrences. They were patterns, hints that the Omega Singularity had been monitoring the galaxy for eons and had witnessed events that shaped the course of cosmic history. And now, it seemed, the Omega Singularity was issuing a warning. Something was approaching. Something massive and all-encompassing. A cosmic event on a scale that defied comprehension. "Whatever sent this signal," Voss said in a meeting with her senior staff, "it's not just trying to share knowledge. It's telling us that something is coming. Something that could change the galaxy as we know it." The question was what to do about it. The signal source was too distant to reach with current technology. Humanity's best ships would take thousands of years to travel that far. Yet the message seemed urgent, as though time was running out. In the months that followed, Voss and her team focused on the warning. They refined their understanding of the countdown, correlating it with known cosmic phenomena. The signal hinted at a massive gravitational disturbance, one that would sweep through the galaxy and disrupt everything in its path. If the decoded data was accurate, the event would occur within a century. 100 years might have seemed like a long time, but in the grand scale of civilization, it was a heartbeat. Voss knew that humanity needed to act, to prepare for what lay ahead. She began working with global leaders, urging them to invest in research, develop new technologies, and expand humanity's presence beyond the solar system. If the galaxy was to face a cataclysm, humanity would need to be ready, not just to survive, but to rebuild. As the years passed, The Omega Singularity remained a source of both wonder and fear. The signal continued, never faltering, its layers yielding new insights and new warnings. Some viewed it as a benevolent guide, others as an ominous harbinger. But one thing was certain. When the cosmos spoke, humanity had to listen. Dr. Ilana Voss, now a revered figure in both science and politics, often reflected on that first moment when the signal was detected. She had always believed that the universe had something to say, that the stars held secrets waiting to be unlocked. The Omega Singularity had proven her right, and in doing so, had changed the course of human history. As humanity spread its reach among the stars, building new colonies and developing technologies inspired by the signal, they carried with them the knowledge that they were not alone. The cosmos had spoken, and while the message wasn't always clear, it was enough to light a path forward, even in the face of the unknown.